Hello, all you positive heads out there. It is so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open heart and open mind to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce that on January 18th, originally January 5th, but I needed to push it back a bit, I'm going to be freely gifting each of you my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. In the book, which was initially shown to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, by the way, I share the keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 20 plus years of trial, error, and deep exploration of these perspectives, as well as one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. Also, I would like to invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and at the book's website, goldenkey.gift, where readers will also share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. So if you're wanting 2021 to be the year that you alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to sign up to accept my golden gift to you right when it comes out. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. Here we grow again. It is a magical Monday here in the studio as I record, and I am grateful to be back with you guys, but you knew that. I have some cool stories to share today. I figured today would be good to share some sweet synchronicity, which is actually a subsection in my new book, Golden Key, which is really, really close to coming out. If you guys hear in the intro, I've changed the date a couple times, and I finally said, you know what? It's going to come out when it's meant to come out. And if you go to goldenkey.gift, you can register to get it for free. And there's this whole game and so much epicness that I've put together around this. And it's taken a little more than I thought to get it together, but it's very, very close. So yeah, you'll be hearing in divine timing. I will announce it soonish. So in the meantime, you can register to get the book when it comes out, etc. But one of the sections is called Sweet Synchronicity, and I share, the synchronicity that's been unfolding around the book, the Golden Key, and just in general, I feel like ascension symptoms are in full swing. It's been, I've been saying for a while, we're in our COVID chrysalis, and we're coming out into a new level of, humanity. And for me personally, I'm going to share just some of the ones that have happened in the last few days. They've been intense. I mean, this isn't all of them. I'm having synchronicities happen it's literally reflection everywhere I look. Are you guys having this increased even more? I mean, those of you who've been listening a long time know I have a lot of this sort of stuff, and I know a lot of you do too, but it just seems like it's coming to another level. So I thought today I would share some of those just in the last few days. There's been some big ones. Let's see. So yeah, story time, synchronicity story time with Brandon today. Where to start? So my partner Karen was seeing the word or the name Chloe was coming up a lot for her. And then my brother shared a picture, a post online of a dog named Chloe that my old business partner, and you guys have heard me tell the story of this business partner that was sort of a villain character in my story. And there's there's some, split that happened right when this podcast began in 2015. We sort of parted ways in very dramatic fashion. It was a very challenging growth edge for me. And, so anyway, his ex-partner, used to, had this dog, Chloe, who he would always bring into the office. So this dog was around us all the time in the office. It was a very small dog. So literally Chloe was at the office every day when we were working. And well, my partner Karen was seeing all these, hearing Chloe, Chloe, Chloe. And all of a sudden I get shared with by my brother a picture. Hey, look, Chloe, the dog that used to be in our office, his owner, Melissa's her name, posted that Chloe had passed. And we were like, oh, like, wow, okay, we've been seeing a lot of this sort of synchronicity. Then all of a sudden we found a letter from another Chloe who used to live here at the Mystic Manor of her and her dog that she had sent to us over Christmas. And it all happened succinctly. And we're like, okay, wow, that's a not too crazy, but a few things right at once. And then it was sort of like a foreshadowing of something that was to happen. One is I was trying to figure out, of course, I'm always like, connecting the dots. And we also, me and my brother had a friend in college who just passed. And we were very shocked that he passed. And my brother asked for a sign from this person from the other side. And his name was Chris Harris. And within an hour of that, he popped up on his Spotify a suggested playlist from someone, a different Chris Harris. And so he's like, wow, I asked for this and within an hour. So, and then I'm like, okay, that's weird because I had just been talking about all the Chloe synchronicities with my partner, Karen. And I'm like, is this all about communicating with the other side? And, I had just been saying maybe Chloe, the dog is communicating from some way. Like I always think of it like someone who can communicate from the other side might try and reach out to someone that they think is susceptible enough to it. Right. And so I'd just been having that conversation. Then my brother sends me the thing about Chris Harris and what happened with him. And he was like, wow, I asked for the sign. And within an hour, this thing popped up on my Spotify. So I was like, okay, connecting the dots. Then all of a sudden the other day, the old business partner that I haven't talked to in just over 5 years, who used to bring Chloe into the office, contacted me out of nowhere. And I was kind of, just stunned by it. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like I didn't, to see his name pop up on my phone, it was just kind of like surreal. We left, we split on, terms that weren't great. And when I answered, first thing he's like, look, I just am calling you. I know we haven't talked in over 5 years. I just want to thank you for helping me to have my own spiritual awakening. He said over the last couple of years, he's really been on a path, and the last, in the last few months, he's been in his meditations. He said, I've been coming up a lot. And I actually, when he called me on this day, just a few days ago, he's like, you appeared to me in like full aberration, kind of like, I literally am like talking to you. And he goes, Brandon, I know this is weird. Now keep in mind, this is someone that really, from my view, and I even write about it in the book, right? The great betrayal in my life that gave me the opportunity to forgive something. Because quite honestly, I forgave him right after it happened, even though I didn't want anything to do with him and haven't talked to him in over 5 years because of what went down. I know it all happened for me, not to me. It's just apparent to me, like the book, The Little Soul in the Sun, it's like these souls play roles so that we can have something to forgive. And I really feel that with him. And so I was like, look, doesn't mean I want to subject myself to more, wrongdoing or, things that aren't in alignment with what I view as right or good or kind or any of the things that I want to be around, but I still can forgive it. Right. And so when he was talking to me and I, am listening, he's like, look, you came to me in this state and I don't know, it's really odd. All I can say is from what I'm being told and shown is like, we're not done like dancing. Our souls aren't done dancing. I realize now that you literally came here to give me the chance to have the spiritual awakening. I actually saw on the other side, like our agreement that you came here to, as a big part of it, to help me with that. And I just can't thank you enough. And I know, as crazy as this sounds, that, also I'm not a he always used to be like, write emails, if we had a business email, he'd be like, you write it. I'm an awful writer. And he was just like, I'm not into writing, but I was shown something about a book and that we're going to do a book or something together. And, I'm like, well, I'm looking here. I just that day, the copies of my new book are shipped, the physical copies. And I'm like, well, I'm just finishing a book and you do make a guest appearance in it. So it's almost like, that chapter was over and literally sealed. And then, all the stuff of communicating with the other side, and Chloe, he was so close to the dog, Chloe, like, it was his girlfriend's dog, but he brought it to the office every day, and so all that had just been going down like the day or so before. And then all of a sudden it was like, almost like, okay, like, here comes a contact that was, it's a big wound in my life, my brother's life. And so, I talked to him for a few minutes and kind of from there, heard him out and then said, I don't know where it'll go from here. Like I said, it was a little bit surreal. I almost didn't answer the phone. And my partner, Karen, was like, answer. And I'm glad I did. Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our sponsor, Noom. Noom is a unique habit-changing solution that helps users learn to develop a new relationship with food. And it's not a diet. No food is considered good or bad. As we talk about on this show all the time, it's all about proper balance and having good habits. And Noom just teaches you how to look within your own mind and make better decisions for yourself. Sounds familiar, right? It's based in psychology, eating better to feel better. It focuses on the story that we tell around food and how to feel good about our choices. And they make it all super easy to do with a minimal commitment of only 10 minutes a day, which is essential for someone like me with so much on my plate, pun intended. So if you guys would like to try out the cognitive behavioral approach to losing weight that has led to 80% of Noomers finishing the program and 60% sticking to their goals for at least 1 year, head over to noom.com/positivehead to start your trial today. That's spelled NOOM.com/positivehead. I mean, what do you have to lose except outdated habits and perhaps a few extra pounds by signing up for the trial? Once again, that's NOOM.com/positivehead. Check it out. But it was like this lead up of all these synchronicities, to that moment. Then I've had another really cool synchronicity. So a few weeks back, you guys also heard the challenges I was having with someone. I shared this story probably 2 weeks ago of someone who was here at the Mystic Manor. And by the way, this ex-partner, his grandmother had my birthday. His child's mother has my birthday. I also shared the story of the person that I really had a challenge point with here at the Mystic Manor, who has my birthday. And I remember when it was coming to a head with him right around Christmas, the guy who was living here. And I was like, look, if he doesn't leave, I think I have to like shut it down because I can't be in that energetic container with him any longer, And then I looked and I was feeling like, resigned to that. Like, okay, I'll surrender if I have to, if as much as I put into the Mystic Manor, if I need to give it up, I will. And I looked down at I was driving and I looked down and it was 3:11 was the time. And there was 3 minutes and 11 seconds till we arrived where we were going next. Or yeah, I think it was 3 minutes and 11 seconds or 3.11 miles, something like that. It was 3:11 twice in a row. And I was like, whoa, I got full body chills. And I turned to my partner who was driving with me, Karen, and I said, oh, wow, I'm seeing this double 3:11 synchronicity as I'm making this statement that if that's what it takes, I'll leave. And I knew in that moment it would be okay because 3:11, the band, if you guys, any of you who know that band from back in the day, that was like my band's biggest influence probably back late 90s, loved that band. And so when I was having my own spiritual awakening, my first synchronicities I ever saw were around the numbers 311, 311. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And I told Karen, I was like, that's my first synchronicities ever, and now here we are. I've had more than I can count, but it all started around 311. And so when I saw that in that moment, I knew everything that I was just talking about was going to be okay. And it was. It magically cleared up. The person left. We're on good terms. And so now fast forward to the book and when it's going to come out. So I basically the book is going to come out within days, the audiobook, the ebook. As far as the actual physical paperback that you can order, it will be shipped it will be shipped out because Amazon requires pre-orders. It's going to be shipped out on the first option I had to choose a date was 3/10. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make it 3/11. It's got to be 3/11. So that's the day. If you order the book, you'll get the audio and ebook very soon. But if you order the paperback, it'll be shipped to you on 3/11, right? And so it was, I first set that up. Well, yesterday I got the final of the audiobook back. And guess how long it was? I bet you can guess. It was 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 59 seconds. Just like I could release the book on 3:10 and I pushed it to 3:11, I went back to my friend Stefan, who did all the editing, and said, look, add a second. So the book is exactly 3:11, 3 hours and 11 minutes. So yeah, a lot of synchronicity flowing around here, and big ones with like feeling like the veil is thinning is what really, I mean, guys, there's so much more that, that's been happening as far as synchronicities that I can't even track them all. And it's just been like all of a sudden, it's kind of felt quieter with synchronicities and stuff for a while. I mean, I always have a lot, but you haven't heard me talk about them as much. And they're just like ramping up big time. And so I'm curious if that's happening for all you guys out there. Oh, another one that happened is right when all the stuff with the Chloe thing and then Chris Harris and then someone posted in the Positive Heads Facebook group, which, by the way, if you're not in the Positive Heads Facebook group, go get in there. It's a private group. You can open up, share, connect with other listeners. There's about 10,000 of us in there or so now. And just a great place to connect with like-minded P-heads, as I like to affectionately refer to you guys as. But someone posted in the Positive Heads Facebook group, hey, is anyone having feel like, I forget exactly how they put it, but interactions with entities on the other side? I feel like I've actually seen three disincarnate beings, like apparitions today. And I've never really had this before. And like, what's going on? Is this happening with anyone else? And when she posted that, that's right when all the stuff was going on with the Chloe stuff and the Chris stuff. And then, like I said, that ended up leading to all these other things. It's just been one after the other. So I feel like we're ascending. When I was talking about this, actually another synchronicity, a few days later, I got a message, and it was like, ascension that came through. And so it seems like the veil is thinning. We are expanding and elevating. And so I expect there's going to be a lot more of it for you guys too, if there hasn't already. Buckle up your seatbelt. We're in for quite a ride. And I feel like personally with the Golden Key coming out, it's going to be a real page turner, pun intended, for me and my reach and ability to just affect change on the planet, which is, where my heart is at most. How can I help as many people wake up as possible and remember the power of who and what we are and how we are divine beings in the physical, and we have amnesia to who and what we were, prior to coming here. And as we remember, we reclaim that power of our higher self, and that is a very, very exciting place to be. And I couldn't be more excited to experience it with each and every one of you. Thank you for showing up and taking this journey alongside me. I do have a song to leave you guys with today. It's called Synchronicity. It's by a lovely group, Rising Appalachia. Hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, journey well. Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
And we are all bright, and we can all soar far past boundary, content that less is more. Birds of the same flight, heading into the sun, shape shifting all the days until we are all one. One, 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 one. And I will heal you, and you will heal me, planting sacred seeds of synchronicity. Throw down your guard and trust before you suspect that there is nothing more, that this is all that you get, 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 all that you get. See here, golden child, we will move from complacency back into the wild. The mechanics of